Overall, I thought it was really good. I thought we started off with a few nervous mistakes. And I think we grew into the game. Guys got more comfortable in the spots they needed to be in and knew what their options were going to be. And I think as confidence grew, we certainly our stance changed, and we started to be a little bit more aggressive. And at times, we were able to control the game. So overall, I was really pretty pleased with it. I think we probably will regret missing some of the chances that we did, but the fact that we were creating the chances is really good.
And just to follow up, if I may, the two goals that you conceded, obviously, Benteke is a hard man to stop in the air, but do you think those two goals came a little easy?
I do. I do. I think that we, it wasn't just the actual goal actions, but some of the losses of possession that led to certain dangerous things are things that we need to certainly address and be a little bit better at.
I'll let others ask you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go next to James Grossi.
Thanks, Nick. Hello, Robin.
Hey, James.
Robin, one of the things we talked about leading into the season was your desire to install repeatable actions, and I thought that first goal, right from the throw in, Wingo spots that space, the ball from Coelho, was that something, and how did you see that play evolve?
Really, really happy with it because a lot of the principles we've been talking about instilling and having it be part of us showed up in that one play. Just really good timing of running behind and playing behind and getting into an area that you can create some real danger from crossing from there and getting numbers in the box. I thought it was certainly a goal that we felt like is a well-worked goal and certainly involved, as I said, a number of the principles we've spoken about.
We'll go back to Neil next.
Robin, I wonder if I could ask you about two players. One, Szymanczyk, got the start today, big couple of days for him. And also the new player, Montlouis. I know you got him on at the end, but you've seen him in camp. Can you tell us a little bit about what to expect from him?
Sure. Since you finished with Zane, we'll talk about him. He's he's obviously, well, not obviously, but he is a player with a pretty good pedigree, having been at Arsenal for many, many years. He's comfortable on the ball. He has good size. He has good athleticism, and he's certainly a player that we think will be an important player for us this year. And in terms of Marcus, I thought he was very good in his first MLS start. Got put in some tough situations a few times, but I thought he handled it well, and I think he went through kind of the ups and downs that you see for a first-time player. And I think as the game went on, he really grew into it, and I thought he was very, very solid.
Thank you.
Dave, Oso made history when he became the first TFC player to play in 13 seasons and score in 13 seasons.
Wow.
Maybe you just sort of speak to your captain's performance.
Oso is, I've said this before, I don't think there is a person alive who embodies TFC more than Oso. And I didn't know that stat that you just said, but it's very, very fitting. He bleeds red, as we all do, but he bleeds Toronto red. And for him, it speaks so much about him that he has played 13 seasons, scored in 13 seasons. That means he's been significant for 13 seasons for the club that he grew up loving and loves. I'm so happy to have him. I think his intelligence, his work rate, his leadership, whether by the things that he says or how he works on the field, he's a huge, huge part of this team, and I feel very fortunate to be working with him again.
Did DC come as appetite? How did you, especially if they're pressing style, how did you sort of deal with that?
They're an aggressive team. They're a very aggressive team, and we knew that coming in, and we tried to identify a few ways that we could play through the press and ways that we thought we might be able to hurt them. And I think certainly at times their press, as I said, is very difficult to deal with. They were able to win some balls, but I thought we did a fair job of being able to get out of it at times and being able to create attacks out of it. And that's what I mean when I said I felt like early on it was a bit nervy. But I think when guys started to find spots that they felt were more comfortable and they could receive it and play out of it, that I thought we had a bit more success. But I mean, they're a good and very hard team to penetrate. Yeah, so Ola hasn't played in a while, and he's been training and he's been doing individual stuff with us. And I know that it's been referenced more than once about Richie coming in early last year and getting hurt and being lost for a number of months. So I think everyone here has that in mind. And the idea is to make sure that he is really fit and his body's used to it again before he gets into it. So I don't think it'll be long before we see him, but it really is a matter of making sure that we're doing the best thing for him long term and the best thing for us long term. Nixon, he suffered a calf injury early in preseason, and it kept him out for quite a while. And he's back in full training now, but again, it's one of those things where it would be too early to risk him. So we want to try to get him physically where he needs to be able to play.
Thank you. We'll go online next to James Grossi.
Thanks again, Nick. Robin, you touched on this a little bit, but there were a number of crossed wires on the night. You know, Theo and Fede sort of getting into good positions, but not necessarily being on the same page. Richie as well, Simmer, and anyone else at the back post. I know that's the sort of thing that comes with time, and you said that you liked those starting points, but how do you move that forward this week?
Oh, it's just more clarity in terms of decisions in the final third, runs in the final third, recognition of when certain things are available, when we should play behind, whether we should carry the ball ourselves. And overall, it's more time together, I think, more than anything else. You know, this group, you think about it, Simmer's playing his first game. Theo hasn't worn a TFC jersey in, I don't know, 8 years. It's been a long time. So certainly it's newer guys coming in, guys who've been here and trying to mix them all together. And it's not surprising to have a few mix-ups in front of the goals, especially early in the season. But I do think that they're very good, intelligent, unselfish players, and just more time together will enhance those decisions, I believe.
Thank you. And do we have any final questions from online?
I'm good.
All right. Thank you.
Sorry, we do have one last hand from Neil. Sorry, Robin.
Okay.
Robin, forgive me, this may be off the wall, but given the weather up here, was there any thought of you guys staying somewhere else to train, or will you just brave the cold and train indoors?
Well, that's what we'll have to do. It was funny, for the 5 years I was here prior to this, I felt like we had a little bit of time indoor, but we were always able to get outdoor. I don't think I ever saw a winter quite like this in my 5 years that I was there. So it is what it is. We are where we are, and we have the ability to train. It's not ideal to be training on turf and training indoors, but we live in Toronto, and Toronto is great for so many things, but I'm sure not too many of us would say for the weather.